This is a Headgum podcast.
That's cute.
What's your real name?
Brittany.
That was weird.
Shout out.
Sushi Blanco.
Okay.
Sushi Blanco is the best one.
Sushi Blanco.
What's
So
your
I was
stud
not
name?
that far off with
Sushi
Blanco.
What's your real name? Christina.
Christina.
God bless their hearts.
What's your stud name?
I was on
No.
my phone.
Flirt.
Boog.
Boog.
You know, I had a sinus infection once
Boogie.
in elementary school, and one of the kids.
A what?
A
Sinus
sinus infection.
I thought you said science infection.
I had a science. I have an infection. A science
A
infection.
science infection.
Nerd.
I had a sinus infection. I got called. This kid Darius, who I think was having issues at home. This is when I became a bully. He radicalized me because he was mean to me.
Aw.
He said,
Issues
he
at
said,
home.
"Why are you sniffling so much, booger nose?"
Booger nose.
And I said,
Honestly, that's
"Damn."
funny.
I said, "I don't have shit to say to that actually." I have a,
Booger nose is cute.
I have a
I feel like
sinus
as a
infection.
kid, you would say, well,
That's like a
actually,
pet
I have a
name.
sinus infection. It's
I
really
was-
serious.
I was just yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I was just like, I think I was like, shut up.
Oh, no.
And I walk with my cello on my back. Fuck you.
I really wish I could go back in time and protect little you guys.
By the way,
No,
I was
you
fine.
shouldn't.
I know I should.
I was actually a menace.
but I wish I could.
I
I
didn't
became a
really get
menace.
bullied. Like, not really.
Were you a bully?
No.
Have we talked about my bullying history on this podcast?
Yes.
I think I only had one issue
friend
with.
to all.
Yeah, I was voted.
That's nice.
Yeah.
I thought about friend to all the
I
other
love
day.
giving people a hard time,
Yeah.
but
But
I
that's
don't. I
different.
don't think I was ever bullied. I hated. I would like. As we've talked about, nerd warrior. I don't like it when people get
Bullied.
bullied.
Yeah.
Nerd warrior.
Speaking of science infection,
Science. Yeah.
Josette, we're returning after.
My surgery.
Yeah, Josette had surgery in her inside of her face.
So I still probably sound a little bit.
You sound kind of normal. Who
sound
sounds more?
fine.
Who sounds more congested, me or Josette?
You.
Yeah.
I just my throat feels just so swollen still, and I am a little
Is
bit
it-
congested.
Okay, so is your
it-
throat swollen because
Well, it's post
it's
nasal.
traumatized?
Well,
of
it's
like,
both.
what happened?
Well, no, I mean, like, think about the thing that's so crazy about surgery. And I was like, I can't believe my dad does this shit. First off, the guy is like, he doesn't tell me he's putting in the cook juice.
No, of course not.
He's like,
The
you're gonna
cook
feel
juice?
like I feel something spicy. He's like, you might be feeling something spicy right now, and then I'm gone.
Ah,
And then
yeah.
then I'm totally
yeah,
out
they're
of
like,
it.
you might experience a little.
Yeah. The determined got you.
Did you didn't count
Demented.
backwards or anything like that?
No, it's complete shock and awe.
Yeah.
But it's because of the breathing tube, like, and also I am having like post nasal because I have like, I mean, the first week I was just oozing blood and guts.
I know.
pictures were crazy.
I know. Yeah.
And so I'm still having a little, but I think it's the breathing tube more than anything else. Like they shove it in your
Oh,
fucking
interesting.
mouth. Dude,
Wow,
Can they be more
that's
gentle
crazy.
with that shit?
It's not. I mean, like your throat's not used.
Yeah.
Used
But they
to
took
that.
out it's underneath your
Mine
nose,
isn't, at
right?
least.
Underneath.
What do you
your
mean underneath
nose.
my nose?
That's where they took something out.
I had like a
Glands?
bunch of stuff done. Like
What?
Whoa, cool.
It's like I couldn't, dude. When they actually read it to me, they asked me to confirm what I was having done, and the amount of stuff that
You were
was in the
like,
thing, it was
sure.
all so science names. I already don't have something in my nose. I already had adenoid surgery. I just have bad.
Oh, you already
Sinuses.
had adenoid surgery.
I don't have any adenoids, and I haven't had them since I was a kid. And I don't have
Flex.
now. My turbinates are like really reduced, which
I
are like
didn't know
there's
we had something called turbinates.
There's like sacs in your nose, and mine, because of
I
my
feel like airplanes
deviated
have turbinates.
septum, was totally pushed up against my side, and so I'd have headaches every day
Right.
because it was so inflamed.
right.
And so I had them reduced, and then my septum I had straightened out. And there's more room.
You
in
had
my
your nose
nose
straightened out.
Well, my septum.
What
Yeah.
is that? Septum.
Like
Middle bit.
the middle bit. Mine was curved, and that was causing like constant pressure.
Do you think your nose looks different?
Definitely in the inside. I asked them.
No,
I was
I
like,
mean on the outside.
does it? I don't think so.
Let's see.
I
No.
don't think so.
I don't
They
think
didn't
so.
do anything. It was all. It was
You had a very straight
endoscopically.
nose.
And it was endoscopic. I mean, it still
I
got
know,
like a
but
Jewish
inside
nose.
is connected to outside. You know.
You know, I still got like a slight schnoz.
You know, I've never thought of you as having a schnoz.
It's not like that, but it's like I think if like things were in a time.
You know what's crazy?
Pick me
You know what?
out.
Yeah. No, I think they'd honestly pick me.
No, you
before
look Czech. You don't look Jewish.
They confused
What was
us.
that?
Czech
You get an
is
email?
so
Bing.
Czech is so Czech.
I think
You know what I'm
Czech
saying?
is. I think a lot of Czechs are Jewish. I
Are
should. I
Czechs
should
and
know. I
Jewish
should
the
know
same?
this.
Answer us
I
in
think
the
there are
chat.
Czechoslovakian
I'm sure
Jews.
there are. I'm
Oh,
sure there are.
definitely.
But I mean, like,
Definitely.
isn't it mainly like, is it Catholic?
I'm
I
not
mean-
It's Christian or
exactly
Catholic.
sure.
I don't know.
What was the Czech
Would make
Republic
sense.
before? What was it called? Before it was the Czech Republic. Was it something else?
Yes.
Czechoslovakia?
Czechoslovakia and before
Was
that?
it? Was it the like? I think it was Czechoslovakia. No.
Was it part of the Ottoman Empire or something?
Good question.
This is
Probably,
before-
Yes, it probably was.
Well, this is before.
Just knowing
This is before
World War II.
the
World War II?
USSR, like before like they took.
The good old days.
Yeah.
It's amazing that everyone saw
what am I looking
communism and fascism and said maybe fascism is the one that we can tweak to work.
Yeah.
Dude, I literally was thinking in the car.
I
Because
mean,
they're like
well,
fascism bad.
you know what, though?
Communism bad. But
It wasn't
if
like a
few
choice.
tweaks,
It was just Czechoslovakia.
fascism would work.
No, but it wasn't like a choice. It was a multi-decade long like warfare campaign on the
Yeah,
part of the
On
United
the
States.
most tweakable one
Okay.
being bad. They're like the one that is good is bad.
Yeah,
The one that is good is bad.
Yeah.
The one that is good is
Before-
bad. And people are
before
like, good is bad.
Czechoslovakia-
Good is bad. Good is bad.
It was.
Yeah.
It was Slovakia. It was actually a few places.
Thank you.
It was Slovakia,
Herzegovina.
Bohemia,
Bohemia.
Marvia,
I'm from
and
Bohemia.
Habsburg Empire.
Oh my God, the
This is
Habsburgs
Calcutta. Bohemia
is dead. Habsburg. Didn't you get excited about the Habsburgs?
Oh,
Huh.
the Habsburg jaw. Oh, that's my family.
What is?
Yeah,
those
that
are your
checks
those are your
out.
rulers.
Fuck. That
I'm actually
fucking
kind of
checks out.
confused because it says the Czech Republic was established on January 1st, 1993, after the peaceful split from Slovakia. So
Yeah, it was
there's
Czechoslovakia prior.
okay, but
So there
Now,
now there's the Czech Republic and Slovakia. Yeah.
I should actually know this more.
What were they
my,
beefing
my, my, I mean, it's all.
I would love to know.
Just easily Googleable
It all has
questions,
to
but
do
we don't
with-
have the internet
It's
right
all
here.
Russia. It literally is all like Russia stuff.
They were like, "Who
Mm.
wants to be capitalist?
well,
we'll
no,
give them $1 billion."
It's like all post like the breakdown of
Soviet.
the Soviet Empire.
Union.
How are you guys like feeling today?
I
I know we had an episode come out
but
where everyone was crying.
Speaking of fascism, I was thinking in the car, and I was like, "What? Why does everybody dig this so much?" I was literally in the car thinking,
This political moment?
no, like just like I literally just don't understand. Where I'm like,
You like sucking a leader off?
like why do
Relax.
people dig? Why is this the thing that everyone is digging?
Well, by the way, it's literally embarrassing.
It is just so fucking crazy. I'm listening to Democracy Now, like pulling out my pistol.
Mm-hmm. When you say why do people dig this, you're talking about why are people Trump supporters?
Why do people dig fascism so hard? Why do they want to suck another man off so badly?
Yeah.
Is it like
Why do you
just
guys
the
don't wanna s- it's-
excitement
that's
of like
gay.
group think and bullying? Also, you know how in an episode a couple weeks ago you said we were talking about
I don't
50
know.
Shades,
Oh,
and we were talking
The
about
spanker.
the spanker and like common
Spanker.
like sexual fantasies.
Oh, you're talking about fascism as lack of control.
Yeah.
Well, it's a
Maybe.
libidinal thing.
I
Yeah.
think
Yeah, it
like
is. It is.
it's something along the lines of like the Eric Fromm like Art of Freedom
100%.
where
Definitely.
it's like freedom from is one thing that like a lot of people like you want to strive for that like
Yeah.
freedom from if you're like
You should
You wanna
explain
strive
that.
for
You
that?
should explain that more.
oh okay so in the Art of Freedom I'm pretty sure I've talked about it on the
Yeah,
pod
but-
before
I don't.
but he like kind of splits freedom into this idea of like freedom from and freedom to.
Yeah.
And freedom from, so for example, like right now, all the communities that are like very explicitly under attack under the new regime, like have
I hate the
very
word
pressing
regime.
concerns. Like, you know, we were talking about a friend of ours recently who was like saying her mom's undocumented and she's like afraid every time her mom goes to work. She's like scared. And so freedom from is like the desire to live under a system where you're like feeling a sense of safety where your basic needs can be met, right? Like and that's a natural thing, like that people want to strive for. But when that level of like safety and basic needs, like once that is achieved, like I think Erich Fromm explores this idea of like man really struggles with the freedom too.
Yeah, definitely.
Like we struggle with having our own agency to create our own lives, and beyond that, like to make choices about what kind of society we want to live in.
Definitely.
It's overwhelming. #adulting. So
I mean,
maybe there's a desire, and I think certain people have that more than other people. Like
definitely
like a fascist. We talked about this on the pod before.
We did. We're here again.
I remember a while ago I was like, I have a fascist personality.
I think everybody.
We said no.
No, you don't.
think
You
so.
don't. But I do think everybody does have not having. We have too much choice. We're in the age of information. We have too much technology. It is just true, and I think there's an element to every person that doesn't want to have to think so much about every choice. And also, we just live in the neoliberal age where every choice has to reflect who we are, and our life has to have meaning.
Also, like,
So it's heavy.
I've been trying to find a quote this entire time, but it's
Okay.
about how
Professor.
fascism is. It's something along the lines of like fascism is the neoliberal order's gift to mankind in its maturity. Like fascism is the last grasp of a neoliberal social economic.
What do you
order,
mean by that?
in the sense that only with fascism will this current economic order be able to continue.
Right.
Otherwise,
Because this current economic order
has led to populism, which can
makes-
be manipulated either towards a true kind of class awakening or towards a repressive fascist ideology.
But is it like that we're so much of
continue.
individuals? Like in our identity, we are so much of individuals that we still want a sense of control, and we want that control to be the government rather than like seeing ourselves in other people. You know what I mean?
People want a reason that they're disenfranchised, and it's either everyone realizes that, you know, that it's like the thing that we've been talking about for 8 billion years, just like general class inequality, or they're like, I wonder who's taking away all of my sort of human privileges. It's probably immigrants.
Right.
Dude,
I think
you know,
well, I think that
It's
to your
immigrants and
point
trans
about like
people, I think.
is it that we're
Because some guy told me it was.
this thing about like individuals, I do feel like that just reminds me of I think when it gets to a point where I'm having too many thoughts at once.
It's okay. Just take a second.
It's two different things. So first, like your quote about fascism being like the final, what did you say? Like the final gift of the final offering of neoliberalism?
Yes.
Okay, first of all, I only just recently understood like what neoliberalism actually means.
You should listen to that book. It's fucking awesome.
Which book?
A Brief History of Neoliberalism, I think, is what it's called.
Okay.
It's incredible. It's not easy being green, or is it?
Tell me about it, Kermit.
I recently
Start
actually...
doing a Kermit impression.
That'd be really cool. I watched Kermit doing something the other day, and I was like, I am Kermit.
I love you. I love.
I sound like Kermit Louis Armstrong.
I love AG1.
Naomi, do it again.
I love AG1.
That was good. That's
really
what he
good.
sounds like. I couldn't hear him in my head that well.
I just opened up a fresh pack.
Ooh.
My fresh scooper.
Fresh pack of za.
Fresh pack of AG1.
AG1.
Yeah, and I've been using it for a long time. I'm very grateful to AG1. I feel like it helps me
Continuously.
take care of my body in a way that a lazy girl can't. Only a lazy girl can.
I've been falling off of every routine that I've had. And
Yeah,
I think
every
as a
routine is
result,
awful.
I've had my health
Decline.
decline.
Yeah.
I need to tap back in.
So if you're like
for
Naomi
sure.
and you've kind of been falling off, this is a really good first step. It fills all the gaps in your nutrients routine and gets you the vitamins and support that you need for your tummy health. I think this year you should try AG1 for yourself. It's the perfect time to start a new healthy habit. And that's why I've been partnering with AG1 for so long, for years and years at this point, which is crazy, but it's true. And AG1 is offering new subscribers a free $76 gift when you sign up. You'll get a welcome kit, a bottle of D3K2, and 5 free travel packs in your first box. So make sure to check out drinkag1.com/gayotic to get this offer. That's drinkag1.com/gayotic to start your new year on a healthier note.
ZocDoc.com.
Zockety dockety.
I actually, okay,
Here in my
ZocDoc,
pockety.
ZocDoc, let's just, I can just do this one completely honestly. I don't like talking to the people on the phone that work with your insurance and they tell you what doctor to go to see about X, Y, and Z. It's just, nobody knows what the hell is going on.
It's true.
Everyone's confused and you're on hold for 2.5 hours. I discovered ZocDoc and I was at first like, is this a scam? I don't think it is, but I'm going to give them all my information anyway. And so I put blind faith in them. And luckily, it was not a scam. I found my primary care doctor on there, and she's really cool. And
I'm actually wondering if I should
need to
use this.
reschedule.
Yeah, I
with
think
her.
ZocDoc would be great.
I
need to see a dermatologist. I'm going to use that.
my primary care doctor transferred out of network, so I need to
Stop doing that,
tap
guys.
in. Yeah,
Well, luckily there's ZocDoc.
it just can be overwhelming. So
It sucks.
yeah, I think it's nice that there's something like ZocDoc that helps us navigate an unnavigable system.
A purposefully obfuscating system of confusion to keep
Yeah.
people unhealthy. But ZocDoc is here to make that easy, make it easier for you. It literally did make it easier for me. And this is reminding me I need to reschedule my doctor's appointment, my annual physical.
Annual physical.
And I will do that when I get home.
Good boy.
One of my things to do.
I'm going next week.
So stop putting off those doctor's appointments and go to ZocDoc.com/gayotic to find and instantly book a top-rated doctor today. That's ZocDoc.com/gayotic. ZocDoc.com/gayotic. Just like polling the room. What did you guys think? How would you define the word neoliberal?
Neoliberal, where maybe I'm incorrect, but like our society, because of capitalism, views the individual. It's individualism is the view of neoliberalism. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
where it's
there's
like
definitely an emphasis on that.
Well, where it's like the individual is the thing that's the most important thing in society.
After reading Shock Doctrine and that After We Burn book,
Yeah.
I was like,
Which I never finished.
I feel like the thing about neoliberalism that the piece I was missing was like the corporate freedom
This
of
is-
neoliberalism. Like,
That's what I was going to say.
like it's basically like people should be free to participate in an economy
Run
that's
by
not their
5
choice.
people. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like
That's the like neoliberalism is a Reagan Thatcherite post oh my god,
like
what
the
was his
market
name?
should not have regulation.
Well, yeah, but
Deng Xiaoping.
It's like
Don't know.
it's because
Don't
the
know who-
market.
don't know
It's
her.
because
Don't know
of
her.
corporation. Corporation
man.
is individual. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like the freedom of corporations expanded, like the expanding reach of the freedom of corporations.
Yeah.
And the diminishing presence of social safety networks.
Yeah,
And
like the
that-
abandonment of like the union.
Yes.
Dude,
Yeah.
dude, you guys, can you believe where we are? I'm like sitting in my house. I'm just thinking. I'm like, I always think about this, and maybe this is a crazy thought. Ooh, I'm getting a call. Spam. That
Totally.
I'm like, I always think about in the Holocaust, and I always think about. I always think. The people who decided to leave, and when they made those decisions.
And when is the right time to make that decision?
I do. I'm plagued by this.
Totally.
I think that where I'm at like today is I'm very aware of the fact that this new administration like really wants us to be panicking.
Yeah, definitely.
It's
And-
shock and awe.
Yeah, it's absolutely shock and awe. And I'm trying to constantly ground myself in the fact that like ultimately people want a better quality of life, and this like and the neoliberal like fascist like policies are not going to give that to them. So that's the thing that helps me like remain hopeful and grounded, is that like ultimately like some other movement that is able to actually provide like a better quality of life for more working people like has to be the thing that will prevail, unless like we don't get there by the time like the world's like is uninhabitable for other reasons. But like I don't know how many people will die. I don't know how violent of like a struggle this is going to be. But I do know, just like fucking common sense wise, that like people want to eat good food and have shelter and have good lives.
One good thing that did happen, I think, this week, when they threatened to stop funding for like all those government. Well, I don't remember the actual name of what Trump said that he was gonna stop spending for, like money that was already allocated to different parts of the federal government for like Meals on Wheels and like all of those like social aids.
Yeah.
Like
you love Meals on Wheels.
No, I love Project Angel Food.
Oh, okay.
Whatever. I don't remember
what was
exactly.
it again? What was Project Angel Food? You did it in
It's
high
essentially, I mean, it's in Hollywood, but they do, you go and cook meals for people who are like immunocompromised or have like HIV or are just older and can't. It is like Meals on Wheels, but it's not.
But you bring it to their houses?
You don't, but they have other people who do.
I did a version of that when I was in high school. It was awesome.
But I don't remember exactly I don't remember the exact name of the federal funding that he was thinking of quitting. It would also stop like people from getting like assistance with their housing and stuff like that. But as a result, people did come together and they decided to actually not cut the funding. It was also a test of like him testing the amount of power he had. But the thing is, it's like people were outraged, and it did stop.
Right. If we collectively, that is like something, a message I took from Shock Doctrine of like part of a reason that they do this shock and awe thing is like because it shuts people down. Yeah, and so we don't publicly express outrage. Yeah. Because we're like tuned out. But it is effective to like continue to organize and express like public opinion and take to the streets.
You know what? It also has, the taking to the streets of it all.
I mean, it's interesting that we really didn't do that this time around. Like, no,
I think people are also afraid.
Who were the people that organized the Women's March, and did they just this time they were just like,
the resistance, like pussy hat ass motherfuckers are just like, fine, you want it your way, go ahead.
Do you think that's what the tea is?
100%. The resistance is as a symbolic. I don't mean like the squad. I mean like the idea of there being a resistance to Trump. Like that's what's so distinctly different.
Yeah, there's not as much resistance.
There's not as much like from within the government, like resistance to what he's doing. There's more loyalists on his side. There's fewer like people being, there's not a hashtag resistance this time. They're kind of just like, well, we were sweepingly beat, and so this is a Reagan-style realignment of our current order, and we'll just kind of sit by and let the shit happen. I really think that's what's happening.
But I do understand that because it is just fucking the thing that's fucking insane about it. It's just true.
I think like
he won, and he won by a fucking landslide.
And instead of taking the correct lesson from that. They're just like, why don't we get everyone to blame the left? It's actually their fault that we weren't Republican enough to win.
Do you hear him
against a fucking Republican?
Did you hear what he said about the plane crash?
Ridiculous.
No.
He said it's DEI.
Yeah, he said that the reason that plane crash happened was because of was it DEI as of air traffic controllers or the FAA or whatever? But that's what he blamed it on.
By the way,
honestly,
God.
I'm just like, this is the
3.5 to 4 weeks late news show.
Yeah,
we bring you the news from 3.5 to 4 weeks ago. But for us, it's brand freaking new.
Yeah.
So We're just
so
recapping
layered.
what's going on in our lives.
I know,
It
they
also makes
probably-
me think
yeah.
about.
It's kind of awesome, I guess.
I learned I think it was in the Shock Doctrine, or maybe it was in another book I read.
Whoa.
But
Shout out to Naomi Klein.
yeah, shout out to Naomi Klein. What did I read before that I'm thinking about now?
Whatever. Just tell
It was
the
the
plot.
Kianga Yamada Taylor book about like Black people and home ownership.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But one of those books has something about when Reagan was in office, the air traffic controllers staged a huge strike.
Well, and then that was when their union got disbanded.
He fired every air traffic controller in a day. He
well,
fired
you know what he's
them
doing?
all,
You know what?
and that was
yeah.
like the structure of unions. Like since then, has not recovered from that.
No.
Ronald Reagan can suck my
I
fucking balls.
literally,
What a bitch.
like,
It's just the
I'm
same
in
thing of
Murderville.
like, why are you guys saying we like don't need to spend money on this stuff?
Dude,
like,
did
so
you
you
see
can
the
spend
stuff
money
that
on
you-
jelly beans,
Did
you
you
fucking
see the shit that
demented
they're
old
doing
fuck.
with like the
Are
federal?
you getting jelly beans
with
from somewhere
federal-
specifically?
With federal workers?
no.
They have literally. I need someone to say exactly what the headline is because I just can't remember anything. But
Whoa.
that they're doing kind of like a buyout
What?
because they
Oh,
want
they're
people
like
to stop.
leave.
Yeah, leave.
I did hear that on the radio.
Which is just I'm like, is it just because they want more tax? What's
They want to spend less money on the government
And they want to get more money
because
from
of fucking Doge.
selling. Dude, I just can't
It's
believe.
like, guess what, guys? Designer clothes, nice things cost money. Okay, if you want it to be shitty, then don't spend money on it. Fucking losers.
you know what? Just like,
What?
what's so
Sorry.
crazy? What's so crazy is just like, it's not even, it's like these guys are just a bunch of pussies. And
Well,
everyone
yeah.
who sucks them off is also a pussy. Not everyone. Some of them really scare me. But there's a lot of people, it's like, why? It's just hilarious to me that some of the people that are Nazis now are some of the biggest pussy ass incel nerds of all time.
I mean, that's not surprising at all. You know what I mean? It's like, it's the fantasy of having power when you're actually
Dude.
never gonna get pussy.
This is like, it's a huge, we need a sweeping
I'm
overhaul.
sorry.
Go talk to girls. Just don't be weird. Don't be weird. Be very nice. Maybe be charming.
Maybe you could be
Maybe.
charming.
You can be ugly. It's okay.
We'll
If you
see.
develop a good
Dude, to be
personality,
honest, like especially
girl
with
will like
women,
you. I
especially
promise.
women. Women are so forgiving.
I promise you,
Women are so forgiving in that way, which I find to be amazing.
it's going to be okay.
But do you guys also feel like this might be random,
Aw.
and I don't want this to be too pointed of a comment, but,
But you two love fascism.
no. Just thinking about like in terms of culture, I can't think of that many examples of like cool
Culture.
people on the left who are like committed and vocal about like, I want to use a word other than resistance, but it's like
What do you mean?
a lot of the people who are maybe like socially more liberal, like there seems to be like a culture of just like escapism right now.
But I think
Well, I
that
maybe that's just the issue of like, you can't really make it cool to be like earnest and talking about organizing.
I
Stop
also think
hurting
it's a
us.
lot.
Or maybe can you? I
but
just
in a
don't.
chill way.
I think it's a lot though too. Like I want to leave my brain. Like
Yeah.
if not, like I mean,
if
that's
you
what
were
I was-
gonna if you were gonna leave the country, where would you go?
I don't want to leave.
Italy?
I don't know. I guess that would be the easiest. It's easiest for me to go to Europe.
Yeah. Oh, I was gonna say something else about like you thinking about leaving is that I have had the thought that because like, you know, being in LA right now, there's a lot of confusion around air quality. We were just talking about it before we started recording. Like, we're not sure like when we're supposed to be wearing masks, and Josette has a plan for it, but
It's just my personal plan.
like
I think you could share your plan for the public after
I think you should.
Because it's probably helpful.
I've just been thinking about the fact that like realistically, yes, a lot of other cities in the United States are like not dealing with these types of environmental risk factors yet.
They are though. They are.
But Also, they are.
Yeah.
And they will be more and more.
Oh, are you talking about leaving California specifically?
I just mean like leaving anywhere.
You
like
can't escape
a
the climate.
geographic cure.
You can't escape
Like,
the
it's
climate
like
crisis.
New
maybe-
Zealand doesn't want all of our bitch asses.
They don't want
okay?
all of us. Yeah. So it's like like just grieving and being in acceptance of, it's like some Adrienne Marie Brown shit. Like being in acceptance of the fact that like we are in kind of apocalyptic times right now, and we need to be like learning and honing skills to deal with that.
Where you particularly
and
are.
what are those skills?
Well, it's like exactly what you're doing. Like, because for me, I get overwhelmed. So I just I can't like think about it anymore. And like you're learning like, okay, this is how I'm reading
but this
the
is
air
just
stuff. This is how I'm paying attention to it. And this is what I'm doing. Like, that's a skill, I think.
The thing that I'm so upset about is like, I'm not a doctor.
I know.
It's
I
like-
know.
I'm sick of them telling me to be a doctor and
Also,
a scientist.
guys, I thought the game plan for the apocalypse was that we're all going to grow our own food.
no,
How are we
can't.
supposed to do that?
You can't.
Now-
you actually maybe got to
Could
do
you
like
grow it
hydroponic.
inside?
Yeah, you could.
Ooh, you know what would be? That's actually really like. I just thought of a really sad movie idea.
What?
Outside, everything's destroyed.
Well, this is actually.
Inside
I'm sure this is a
people's
movie.
homes.
It's called Silo. It's on
inside-
Apple TV.
Inside gardens,
Yeah,
and people just live in dirt, but it's inside their homes.
yeah.
Oh, interesting. No, have you seen Silo?
No,
Rebecca Ferguson.
Um.
have not seen it.
Yeah.
I'm listening to the telepathy tapes. That's all I'm doing.
That's cool.
I want to hear about them.
It's pretty
Um,
cool, guys.
Everybody in my life has told me, please, Katie, listen.
It's insane.
Ready to optimize your nutrition this year?
Ooh.
Factor has chef-made, gourmet-made meals that make eating, well, easy.
I
Thought
like
happened.
that it can be interpreted eating well, easy.
Eating? Well, it's easy.
Yeah,
with Factor
exactly.
meals. They're dietitian approved and ready to heat and eat in 2 minutes.
Heat and eat.
Same, girl. So you can feel
Factor meals is a lot like
a lesbian in her 30s, in her sexual prime.
she's ready to heat and eat.
You can feel right and feel great, no matter
like
what
this.
life throws at you.
Factor arrives fresh and fully prepared perfect. You've heard of the future perfect, the past perfect, but have you heard of the prepared perfect? It's something that Factor has invented for any active, busy lifestyle. Listen, there's a lot of options. There's all types of dietary preferences. You can still be vegan. It is legal.
Well, eat smart with Factor. Get started at factormeals.com/chaotic50 off and use code chaotic50 off to get 50% off of your first box plus free shipping. Chaotic50 off at factormeals.com/chaotic50 off.
To get 50% off plus free shipping in your first box.
It is funny that you talked about this though, but on a different, like sometimes I listen to that paranormal podcast. There was a story exactly related to that.
Crazy.
I wonder if we could do a telepathy test.
We could. I'm telling you.
Wait, can somebody look that up? Named you guys?
I think we would.
Someone
Not
named
side
you
of the
guys.
wall.
I think a telepathy test, unfortunately, isn't as simple. We would need to really have been spending. If we could probably do it when we were on tour. I
What,
think
spending a lot of
proximity
time together?
more?
Yeah.
Yes.
Thing.
Yeah.
And Josette, talk
That's
about
just
the
insane.
air.
Oh, I mean,
What
like
you've been doing.
I don't know anything though, but this is my game plan, my personal game plan when I wake up in the morning, because it's really about my dogs for me. More of like
They
if
need
I'm letting
to go outside.
yeah, letting them have outdoor time of recreation. But I first look up. I'll check the AQI just to see
Where's that?
where it is, and
it
if
on-
it's on.
Is that an app?
No, I'll just check on any, like I go on a few, like I'll go on, let me just look. I will go on a South Coast AQMD, which is an app. It's SCAQMD, and I'll check the AQI there, and then I'll go on airnow.gov, and I'll check the AQI there. Just if it's going to be moderate because we also live in Los Angeles, but if it's in a moderate range, then I'll consider it. And then after that, I check, there is this, I don't know what you want to call it.
Wind.
Oh, yeah, I guess I also check the wind direction. I see if
Where do
I
you
live,
check that?
I'll just do, you can do it on the Apple weather, but I like to
It's
just see it for a
gorgeous.
few
Can I see?
hours.
It's-
I'll just
it's
Google wind
unbelievably
direction.
Gorgeous.
I go on Wind Finder because I can see it for a few hours. And I live close to the Eaton Fire area. And so I'll see, is the wind strong? Is it moving in my direction from the fire, like Altadena to me? And if it's not, then I'll move on to the next thing, which is it's this group called Ascent, which I'm going to butcher this. They're like, it is a organization that was supposed to launch later this year, but they have a site that is a data collection in Los Angeles. They have one in Riverside and one in Joshua Tree in terms of the proximity to us, but it's the only place that I've found that can test lead, bromine, and chlorine that is in the air. And you can look on specific days, or you can look from the start of 2025 to now to see the levels that are in the air, because those are the chemicals that I'm the most worried about. Obviously, I can't check for like asbestos and stuff.
You're looking for lead, bromine, and what?
Chlorine. Those are the three that they test,
Okay.
because those aren't.
I'm like, we swim in chlorine.
Yeah.
So is it that bad?
Well, actually, chlorine is in the air also because of like the sea, even like if it gets if the wind is strong, and
That's kind of
those
what
things
I've been
are
realizing
naturally
is like,
in the
our
air.
Our air has just been really bad.
Well, Los Angeles has always had bad pollution. It's gotten better actually in the last
since
few
the 90s.
years.
Yeah.
But there's always this stuff in the air. There's always all of it. But the thing that people were really concerned about from the fires was lead and asbestos. Asbestos, there's no way I could check without like getting like a chemist to do an environmental like test. But lead you can check, and it's because of like lead paint that was burned up.
Yeah.
And so I'm just looking at that website, and it's called Ascent. It's ASCENT.
.com.
I don't, the actual website's like way more confusing.
Oh,
Let me see if I can.
So I just Google like Ascent air quality.
Let me go on there. They have like a website that takes you to the other thing. So I'm going to say the website. So it's ascent.research.gatech.edu. It's an atmospheric science and chemistry measurement network. And it wasn't supposed to launch till later, but they're giving us the data because of the
nice.
fires.
Thank you.
But from that website, you can go find the actual data.
I'll show you the wind app, and it doesn't look
Is
nice right now because I have
wind
bad service.
just completely random, or does it go the same way?
No,
most of the
it's
time?
random. Well, it does go actually. It's dependent
Because of the ocean.
So the thing that was interesting about the fires, and also about
Santa Ana winds
have a particular pattern.
They're dry winds from the east.
Yes, and the wind there's
Wind doctor.
Why do they happen that time of year?
I don't know. I did listen to something about this recently, and I
remember that the MSNBC.
Yeah, we were listening.
I was up in Santa Barbara feeling just libbed out watching MSNBC.
I know.
It was wild, but a really amazing. This guy did a really amazing.
He described why they're called, because it's Saint.
You would love
it's
it.
Saint Anna. Is it just Saint Anna?
Yeah.
Anna.
He's being like, he's reading,
Saint Anna.
he's like giving a sermon about like why the fires happen.
Okay.
It's
Yeah.
really wild.
And what
It's
the winds,
honestly
where the
pretty
winds come
awesome.
from.
Gorgeous.
Yeah, it's like gorgeous.
But there are the
Talks
things
about Joan Didion. It's wild.
in
Yeah, I
California
need to
though. We
read those.
do normally get there
cool.
is a particular pattern to the wind normally, and it's usually from south, coming from the ocean, coming through to LA, and those are the ones that are really helpful to us because they bring in precipitation from the ocean. But Santa Ana, it's the opposite direction.
Hot winds from the east, dry, low humidity.
As opposed to ones that are bringing water in as they're coming in.
You gotta. I'm gonna resend it because it really.
This man will actually.
He was like,
teach
you wanted to like snap. He was like, going off.
Okay, cool.
I just look. You can look and you can see a few hours. I know it's like 3 steps and it seems like a lot. It's actually like not a lot.
So if wind was going in the same direction as the Santa Anas normally go, would it be blowing from the Eden to your house?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
And also, it's like Santa Anas are strong winds. I'm not going to go out in general if the winds are really strong because,
Just
well,
slapping you in the face.
well,
with the
unless
stuff.
they're coming from the ocean because
Right.
it's just bringing in all of like the soot and stuff.
I think
Yeah.
we're meant to
But
get
this is also
pretty
just
heavy rain.
Yeah,
next
we
week,
are, which is great.
Yeah.
Scary for
Yeah.
mudslides.
But I know we have
great
some
for the air.
friends that are just like thinking about just like leaving. And I get
Who-
it. 'Cause
who?
It's a lot.
Who?
Bambi.
I'll tell you after.
Well, but yeah, that
Yeah.
makes sense.
And I get
but
it.
that's what been her thought for a while.
I totally, dude, I get it. Things are scary.
Also, if you're not from here,
I know.
and if you don't have an attachment to the place, like I totally
I
get
get
it.
it.
Yeah.
I just like, I mean, the thing.
my mom's thinking about leaving
I totally get it. I mean, I just like,
Chicago?
I love,
Colorado.
that makes
Word.
sense.
Well, but
That makes sense. Your sister. I
Great.
mean, I
Great
just
baby.
love Los Angeles.
I just also know how to deal with California weather. Like, I don't know how to deal in a hurricane or a fucking tornado. If I saw a tornado, I'd probably piss myself.
Well, yeah, definitely. And also, it's
First
like,
step.
I do,
You know what
I
I
do
mean?
think it is
Some
daft
people
to
know.
think you can't, as you were saying, you can't outrun this shit.
Mm-hmm.
You just can't.
Wait, did you guys see the clip from the fires of the
Fire
fire
tornado? Yep. I tried to forget about it.
I didn't see that
You
from
just
this.
triggered a
I
memory.
didn't see that from this fire. I've seen that before, though.
It was crazy.
It was so crazy.
Fire tornado, firenado, sharknado.
I mean, dude, like, I don't know, though. Like, all the stuff I said, I don't know.
Well,
That's
guess
just
what?
me
You
trying to
moved
make
to-
sense.
You move to Europe, they don't have the infrastructure to deal with extreme heat. It feels so much hotter because they don't
Yeah,
have any
so
infrastructure
crazy.
to deal with it. People die of heat exhaustion every
Yeah.
fucking summer there.
Yeah.
Every
So I
summer
guess
that it
I'm
gets
saying
hotter.
it's like maybe the vibe is just
Hurricanes.
Well, you just pick your
like
poison.
Yeah. Pick your poison.
You just decide what you can deal with, or you learn how to deal with the shit.
we think
that's
we
happening
saw
where you
a
leave.
shark when we were in Santa Barbara.
I saw about 14,000 dolphins, which is really cool.
Why do you
I
think you
saw
saw
a
a shark?
Shape of the fin.
Mhm.
And also, it was by itself. Normally, if it's a dolphin,
It was kind of just
They'll-
floating there, though. We were like,
floating
is it dead?
with its like, and it had a little like, it looked like it had a little tail. It looked
Yeah.
like a very small shark.
Sharks are so interesting.
Mm-hmm. It was
Scary.
nice. I
My
played
girlfriend-
third wheel for a night.
My girlfriend is obsessed with sharks.
You were third wheel with us,
I know. I've been in
The
the,
third
last
wheel
couple weeks.
bop
I've
around.
been bopping
bopping.
to both my family homes.
It was honestly,
Santa
Really
Barbara's nice.
It's so nice.
Santa
we
Barbara's.
had a
They
cool
gotta
stayed
say something.
on
experience.
the fucking beach.
Oh my God, Santa Barbara's like
No,
fancy
listen, we
as
have a friend.
fuck.
Yeah.
Santa Barbara's fancy as fuck.
Yeah, it was
Damn.
really nice.
It's not even quite in. It's not exactly in Santa Barbara.
It's like Ventura.
I won't say exactly where it is, but it is.
Address.
It's
Um,
a gracious friend of
I'm
ours.
yeah,
sorry to any
Kate
scientist
went-
if what I
Kate
said was
went
wrong.
Super, like, aquatic life special interest mode.
She
Did
has
you guys
mad
go in the
crazy
water?
special interest in the ocean, dude.
It's walked
It's
on
really
the beach.
funny.
Oh,
There
that's
was, like
nice.
tide pools.
I need to.
Dude,
we didn't.
did it the next day too.
Did you find any shells?
We saw 2 starfish.
That's Kelly's
pretty-
favorite thing.
Starfish.
We saw
Wow.
2 star right after saying
Collecting.
never see
Collecting
starfish
shell.
anymore.
I'm not a shell collector. It gives me anxiety.
We just do it. We'll just grab whatever we think is fun. It's just more about spending time sitting and you look.
Looking down.
Yeah.
I said this the other day. I was with my girlfriend and she wasn't on her phone. She was just looking. And I said, "What are you thinking about?"
What do you mean,
Well-
just looking?
Yeah, when was the last time someone asked you what you were thinking about?
What are you thinking about?
Because
Well, she was just
you're not
looking-
looking at your phone. Do you know what I mean?
Oh.
Right.
Sometimes it's like, what are you looking at?
Right.
I get asked what
But
I'm
we don't
thinking
have-
about a lot, to be honest.
That's cool.
But it's because I have no control over my body.
Got it.
Kelly's asking you that?
Well, it's because I'm like walking around like.
Yes,
stressing.
Yes. Making noises.
Got it.
Yeah.
You're also like not staring at your phone every
I'm seldom
free moment
sitting
that you have.
And just
a lot of
looking
them.
off.
Yeah.
Sitting, like
Yeah.
actually contemplating.
Yeah.
Well, my contemplating for me is just like it's not like beautiful.
You're
Some
like
people
going
be-
over.
No, some people like contemplate and they're like,
I think it's all torture.
you know what I'm saying? I'm like,
I feel like contemplation is mainly torture.
What do you mean by that?
And that's part of it.
I'm tortured by contemplating. I mean, that's my sin, if anything.
Like
you're,
mindfulness or whatever. It's
tying
like
yourself into
the
knots?
first thing is the fear stuff, right?
Yeah,
I think
like
you
the
have
first thought.
come up.
Yes, I think you have to think through all that.
Yeah,
And sometimes it takes a long fucking time to get to any place that's not that.
yeah.
I don't think now's the time to get to a place that isn't that, but I think it is possible.
The thing, what I was going to talk about earlier when I texted you guys, I swear to God, being on anesthesia, it kind of changed my life.
What happened?
Say a little more.
It's not that, and I actually talked to my therapist for the first time in a long time. I literally the first day, like I got home, I just fell asleep, and I slept almost like for 2 days straight because I just
awesome.
literally couldn't stay awake.
Yep.
And then I was on like hydrocodone, and so I was just kind of drugged up, and that's what saved my life. Is that I actually became nothing,
You were just
and nothing saved me from my anxiety.
You were vibed out.
For that I was suffering from, because I was suffering from life-altering anxiety.
Yeah.
And the only way, which is really sad, hence me talking to my therapist, she's like, the only way that you were actually able to chill out is that you were like in a drugged out.
You got knocked out. You were given hard drugs.
That's it. But it did help.
Did it make you want to?
Did it permanently help?
To
no, it helped. Did it make me want to? No, they're not those. That's not that good.
Okay.
It's not euphoric. Kind of
No.
what
That one is like, it's like hard Tylenol.
Okay.
Like,
Just sleepy.
They didn't give
Yeah.
me any of that shit, but I did kind of feel. I know what you mean. It's like the post anesthesia haze.
yeah, I was
kind
in
of
a haze for a long
lingers
time.
for like a
3
long
days.
time. Yeah,
It
even
was like
longer
3.
than
You
that.
miss
was-
it?
I was in great pain.
It's hard to differentiate.
I mean, I missed. It was honestly painful. So
Yeah, so
no. I if anything, I was humbled by. I said I didn't think it was going to be like this.
Yeah.
But it stopped me from being as anxious as I was because I couldn't think.
Press the reset. You got.
I got
press the
I got a
reset
hard
button.
reset.
Yeah.
Do I feel like good now? No, but like when we were doing the shows and then coming back, I mean, during the shows, I wasn't sleeping. Before that, I wasn't
Yeah.
sleeping because I was just so anxious.
Yeah. And
So
then you had to. catch
everyone
up.
should go have surgery.
Well, it's interesting because I.
Go get a surgery.
It's really good for me. Recommend.
It hurt a lot.
Doesn't matter which one.
It was
Yeah.
really, really painful.
Or find an anesthesiologist near you.
That's like
I wonder if people would
Anesthesiology to
pay
go?
to do that.
I'm sure people
yes, of course.
do. Yeah. You know, some people do fucking anesthesia for tattoos.
right.
Pussies.
Pussy ass motherfuckers.
But can you
yeah.
believe that you can do that? We can rank
Let's rank
fascism,
Communism.
communism, socialism.
Let's rank Enron, Yahoo, just failed corporations.
Oh, failed corporations.
Yahoo
SBC
still exists.
Global.
No?
I
Or
think
they
what we-
they file
yeah,
for
they
bankruptcy.
do. No, they exist, but just nobody's Bing. Nobody's fucking with that shit.
Did
Let's
Bing just get
rank,
purchased?
amount of hours that to sleep.
Oh,
so,
okay.
like-
I love this.
So like 3 hours.
That's so short.
5 hours.
It's not necessarily like at night. It's just like in general. Like if
No,
you
okay,
if you took wait, so should
2
we do
hours.
2 hours as in like a nap?
Fine.
We'll get
2
there.
hour nap.
2 hours, 5 hours.
These
Eight
are,
hou-
this is too
eight
short.
hours.
I'm getting there. 2 hours, 5 hours, 8 hours, 12 hours.
Can it be 10?
Sure, 10.
Okay.
I'll go.
Wait,
I'm-
2, 5, 8, 10?
I'll go.
Okay.
10. Number 1. Number 2, best. In terms of the ecstasy, I feel 2 after a really gorgeous nap. You could either feel horrible or amazing. So it's up there in the kind of dicey area. 8 hours, solid, perfect, Goldilocks, love it. I need it. Actually, if I get less than that, I'm not in a good mood. Final choice, 5 hours.
I completely
Slam
agree.
dunk. Slam dunk. That's
That is
crazy.
perfect. Yeah.
That's crazy.
That's my exact
Yes.
rank.
Wow,
I mean,
telepathy tapes who?
philosophically,
Wow.
there's actually just like no other way. You know what's really interesting though? Like I was talking to Cal. I'm like, Cal doesn't sleep that much. He
That's
like
crazy.
goes to bed like really late and wakes up really early.
That's
He's like, it just
horrible.
works better for me. And I'm thinking, that's possible?
I just don't think that's true.
Yeah, I don't
How
know.
could that be true?
Some people apparently, like, I get these like ads about like an app that tells you how much you should be sleeping.
I actually get those ads as well.
And I think I'm not gonna pay for this. You
No.
serious?
'Cause I
But
know it's
I do
10.
think I'm
I
like,
know that it's 10.
this can't be right.
I think collectively, like we should just agree that we need to be sleeping more.
AFAB
Well-
people, especially, I hate to bring
AFAB
AFAB
people.
into the chat,
Mm-hmm.
but AFAB people do not need 8 hours. It's a minimum of 9.
You know what I really love?
I heard that's science. I
I-
heard that's science infection.
That's the thing that's so
Science
great about
infection.
like
This
the
episode is
Italians
science
and
infection.
cultures that have like siesta. You know, that have the rest.
I've recently started napping.
I'm not a
like-
good napper, but I like just the idea of resting.
Yeah,
It's part of the day.
yeah. I think I get to like 3 p.m. I think I deserve a rest.
Sometimes you just need to rest. man.
I'm resting all day.
This is why our society is this is why
Well, by the
neoliberalism
way,
is so fucked up.
yeah.
Everyone should be able
Yes.
to work for 3 hours, rest, do the things they need to do around the house for 2 hours.
we are so
sleep for 10 hours.
we're like some of the
Yeah.
most spoiled people alive.
I know. It's really, really true. We have amazing lives, and
We still hate
it's extremely hard.
it.
We still hate it.
Yeah.
We're not full
Really hard.
layabouts. We're right in between.
Yeah.
God. Bye.
Bye.
That was a Headgum podcast.